Okay, I'd like to begin by just thanking you for purchasing one of my Zamboni banks. Inside the kit, there's 2 sheets of plywood and a set of instructions, which I'm going to go over with you here and hopefully make it as easy as possible. I'll show you the best way I think to put it together. So you're going to twist and pop these pieces out carefully, and if you do have any trouble popping them out, you might want to take an X-Acto knife and just pinch it where it's stuck, and it should pop out for you. So we have our parts F1A and B. They're both reversible, no big deal. Part F2, we want to make sure these receiving notches are over to the right side when we assemble this thing. So we're going to put those on these outside receiving notches, and gets a little bit wobbly until things get put together here a little ways, so bear with me on this. You want those as straight as you can. Okay, part F3, we want this receiving notch over on the left side with your Zamboni facing forward. Okay, here's some alignment that you gotta do. Make sure those all come together. Okay, that fully forward. Then we're gonna find part B1. Okay, we're gonna lay it down flat on the bench. Take your frame assembly and put it into these receiving notches down here, receiving holes. Okay, part B2. Okay, we want this long receiving hole over to the right side, and we're gonna put it in that hole and into this hole, and that's that. Okay, part B3, the front of our Zamboni, we have some receiving notches up here in the front of our frame, and things want to just kind of teeter and tip. Don't let that bother you. We're gonna pull that up so that falls into that receiving hole. And you just gotta align them and push them into position. Okay, so we got all that, making sure this one's all in place. Find your right side, B1, and we're going to place that on these receiving holes, and there we have it. Okay, holding it all together, we got it all in place. And come on, pop in there. Okay, so we got the front put together. We're gonna find part B3 and slip it in, and that should lock everything together. That's part B4. If we take and get B5, it's reversible. You can put it either up or down and put it into these receiving holes of parts B1. Okay, as you can see, this piece is kind of come apart on me a little bit. We're not going to worry about it too much, but we're going to slip it back into position and tie everything together. Okay, I'm not gluing anything, just to make this a little bit quicker, but put a drop of glue on those receiving holes will hold everything together for you and make it a little bit easier. Okay, part B6 is the other half of our Zamboni seat. I'm going to slip that right into that receiving notch. And then part B7, we're going to take, and it slides in from behind and right into these grooves. And into the receiving notches of part B1. Okay, just a little drop of glue on each side. That'll tie everything together for you. Next we're going to find part B8, and with these receiving holes over to the left side. This takes a little bit of wiggle and waggling to get in there, but it comes over that handle into the receiving hole there and sets down. Okay, a drop of glue on each side, and that's going to stay there for you. Okay, so now we're going to start assembling the driver's area, and we're going to start with part B9, and it takes a little wiggling. It's got to come in on an angle and into that receiving notch and a twist. Take a look at what's going on here. Press that right into that receiving notch there. Okay, part B11. Again, a little drop of glue on these tabs. Slide it into that receiving notch. And you just gotta align these things. A little bit of pressure, and it slips right in. Part B11 is going to go in here. Stick that one right in there and onto that. B12 is our seat back, and it will drop into that receiving hole down there and into these notches. And we're calling this B13. It's a little bit of a tight fit. And actually, how are we going to do this? And right in there. Again, drop of glue and it should stay there for you. I have B14 assembled already. And and that's our steering wheel. It just slips in, slides to one side, goes on. Peak 14 is going to slip underneath there and into these receiving notches. Okay, and we're going to need a little bit of glue on those. Okay, we're off to the other side. And it shows that we're putting the top of our bank together. This is also going to be how you open your bank. And it takes a little bit of alignment. We're going to slip it into the receiving notches of B3. And also of B1. Okay, so you can grab it up here and move them around a little bit, and there it is. Okay, so we pretty much got our body assembled. We're going to set that off to the side for a minute and go to our tire assembly. Okay, the pin is what we're calling T1. Or no, we're calling that T4. We got the I don't know where T1 is, but T4. Oh, T1 is on the outside, our outside wheel. Then we got T2. You got to have 3 of those, and T4. I'll slide on. I have all 4 of those already assembled. So we're going to take, and hopefully nothing's going to fall apart because I don't have any glue on here yet. We're going to set those up and assembled all of these already. It's going to slide into this receiving notch. Come on. And everything is all laser precision here, so it takes a little bit of patience and aligning all of these things to get them to come together. But that's what we're trying to achieve right there. Same thing with our back set. It doesn't matter if it's upright or not. If we want to do it the same on both sides, we're going to set that one flat and put this one in as well. And I'm going to slip that in. Okay, so there we have our wheels all put together and a good start on that Zamboni. So pushing those in. And probably should have showed you, you'll put a drop of glue on that axle assembly to hold it all together. So I'm going to set that to the side, and we're going to build our sled, finding parts S1, S2, and S3, making sure that our receiving notches or receiving holes are over on the right side. Just a little bit of center there. Okay. And then parts S4, left and right, we'll just slip in. A little drop of glue on top, maybe a little drop of glue back here. Hold all this together. Slide that in, and the same on this side. And there you have an assembled sled. So we're going to take our Zam, And that's going to slide right into there. Okay. And this is kind of a difficult part to show you, but inside here we've got some receiving notches on our frame, and we're gonna slip it in, also catching that receiving hole of our sled. Drop that in and push it forward. We'll drop a glue and you'll have it. Same thing with the other side. These are parts P1 and 2. And we're going to find that notch, drop it into the back and push it forward. Drop a glue and you'll be in good shape. So we got some parts here that haven't been glued and being a little fussy with me here. Okay, we're going to find parts P2, 3, and 4. And I like putting our shortest one closest to the driver. It's going to go through this receiving hole, down, and into the notch of P1. This takes a little bit of aligning because the hole on top is just the right size, and there it drops in. Part P, what is this, part P3 has to just poke into that hole. Okay, a drop of glue down there on that hole and it'll stick for you. And there we go. Here again, take some aligning because this hole is just the right size for that to fit into. Oops. And there it is. Okay. So on your directions it shows W1, 2, and 3 getting assembled at the last, and that's probably the easiest, but a drop of glue on each of these 3 pieces, maybe one drop here or there, and it will slip in and you will have a finished Zamboni bank. Something like that. And there you go. And again, I want to thank you for purchasing one of my banks. And if you want to check out my Facebook page, Silvertip Signs and Trophies, you'll find other kits that are for purchase as well. Thanks.